Good morning, everybody. Okay, so I'll start with the study design. For the first objective, this will be non-interventional, but the original study will be interventional. To be analytical, cross-sectional, and we shall use a mixed method, specifically a concurrent triangulation. So we're going to use the systematic reviews and the interviews to conduct the survey. So that's why it's going to be concurrent triangulation in terms of the mixed method. Okay, now the study methods matrix. For the first objective, which is to explore awareness, knowledge, and perceptions of cholera and diarrhea-related diseases. We think that the study outcome will be adoption, which I use two methods, qualitative, as well as systematic review. For the qualitative part, we're going to use purposive sampling to get these food vendors and so on. And data collection to be the interview guide, analysis will be thematic analysis, and the data presented in the form of excerpts and themes, sub-themes. For the systematic review, sampling, going to look at all studies, papers in medical and health-related databases. First and foremost, we start looking at Ghana. If we do not get enough, then we try to extend it to sub-Saharan Africa, generally. The two will be the extraction sheet, data analysis with systematic review, and then we use the Prisma for the presentation. For the second objective, which is to determine the proportion of households that practice WASH, we think the outcome will be coverage. That will tell us about the coverage. The method will be quantitative. We shall use a systematic random sampling method. And the questionnaire will be used to collect the data. We shall perform statistical analysis. And then the data will be presented in the form of tables and graphs. For the third objective, which is to describe patterns of health-seeking behavior for diarrhea-related diseases, we think that the outcome will be acceptability. And the method will be quantitative. The sampling strategy will be a systematic random sampling. Again, we shall use the questionnaire to do this. For the data analysis, again, statistical, which will be presented in the form of tables and graphs. Okay, so the last one, the dissemination strategy. The first one, the objective will be to educate. The target audience will be community members, and this will take the form of a DEBA or town hall meetings. And this will take place, it will be integrated in the course of the project and also at the end of the project. And well, this part wasn't very clear, but then we think that for assessment of information use, improvement in WASH practices within the communities will tell us this. And tools will be through documentaries and plays within these town hall meetings and DEBAs. The second objective will be to sensitize. In this case, we shall target the implementers in the form of workshops. And again, it will be integrated and at the end of the grant. And we think that improved health services will be a way of us knowing whether this information has been utilized. And the tools, an information sheet that will be presented to these implementers. The third objective will be to inform policymakers, and this will take the form of meetings and seminars. And assessment of information usage will be, we think, in the form of policy changes. And the tools will be policy briefs. The fourth objective will be accountability to funders, and this will be in the form of meetings and assessment of information usage. We think that those will pave the way for more funding, hopefully. And this will also be in the form of progress reports and end of grant report. And the final one will be objective, will be to update, in this case, stakeholders. This will take the form of dissemination seminar, end of grant, and it should be integrated as well. And we think this strengthened collaborations and also in other areas of health will be an indicator of information usage. And this will be the form of presentations in this stakeholder meetings and engagements. Okay, so that's the end of it.
Thank you. If I may add, the third item, the last, it's supposed to be dissemination seminar, not dissertation. Tells you what we do.
Dissertation, sorry.